Lads,
Here we go.
lads. Here we go. Edwin D. Monroy, Dr. Coin,
Let's
and
go.
Rebel DeFi in the house for the third episode of Lunar Lads, coming to you live on Terra Money TV. Gentlemen, how are we going today? Tonight?
Great.
Good day. I'm feeling what it's going to be like when I do this full-time crypto thing.
You're almost there, right? Just a
taste
few
it?
more days.
I've got 5 more days. Finish on Friday. Friday's the last one, and then it's
Yeah,
real.
and
I'm doing it for real.
It's mate. It's become this is the reality now. No more going to schools. No more dealing with, little people running around doing whatever they do. Crypto full time.
You better believe it. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's getting real.
That's
Mate,
right.
and Edwin, are you now full time?
I've been full-time crypto this month at March, like completely. I'm done with Tesla. My February was my last month in Tesla, and March first month with no in real life work at all. So it's all from home. Get to travel and just worry about my computer and good internet connection. I was actually out of service 2 days ago. I went by the beach with my neighbor to look at a house that he wants to buy, and I was out of service for hours, and I felt like lost. I was like, wait, what is going on? And with the team, they were going to be messaging me, and luckily, the building did not burn down, right? But
Right.
it was this feeling of like, shit, I have no internet connection.
Yeah, the withdrawals were starting to kick in. The shakes were about to begin. The sweats. Yeah, it's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Do you have like set hours you're supposed to work for One Planet?
No, but there's specific due dates or tasks, right? With One Planet, with Orbital Command, right? For example, with Orbital Command, we have Twitter Spaces that we have a date, a time, right? With One Planet, for example, right now we launched a Trade to Win event to get more activity in our secondary marketplace. We have the Galactic Punks, Derby Star Horses, and Luna Bulls with their different collections in our secondary marketplace, and we just wanted to create an event around that, right, and make it a big thing. And so our devs were just spending a lot of hours making sure everything will work out fine. And so we were, from marketing side, we were just waiting for them to tell us, hey, it's live. And so for me, it was just that, like, pending, okay, once it's live, we got to work on the Twitter announcement, the Discord announcement. If there's any bugs, be ready to help support that and share with the devs. And so anyways, that's what, in my mind, I was like, okay, I need to know what's going on.
And this thing it's live now. Is that right?
It's live now. Yeah, exactly. It went live yesterday, so a little bit less than 24 hours.
And what's the, because I don't know if this isn't going to be going out today. So like, what are the dates of this competition?
Yeah, so there's a lot of time, actually. So it's from March 26th to April 4th. And so the idea here is that you, as a buyer or a seller, right, you come in and you, as long as you transact 3 Luna, you get 1 ticket. And that transaction is either buying or selling, right? So you list it and you sell it for more than 3 Luna, you get 1 ticket. If you sell it for 6 Luna, you get 10 tickets. If you buy something for 9 Luna, you get 3 tickets, right? And so you accumulate tickets, and we have an events page. When you click on that, you can see your dashboard, and you can see how much Luna you spent in total, and you can see how many tickets you have, and you can track how you're doing, right? And there's even a percentage of your chances of winning. And then at the end, April 4th, right, whoever whoever has the most tickets, or sorry, you have the most chance, right? But the winner is going to be randomized. But obviously, the more tickets that you have, the more chance you have to winning. But yeah, so each collection has 1 rare NFT that is going to be given to the winner.
Oh, so that's interesting. So if me or Dr. Doscoin go on to get a punk, we could win a punk.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
So if you spend money on Galactic Punks, your tickets go towards that collection. If you spend money on Derby Stars, your tickets go towards that collection. Same thing with Luna Bulls.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
This is so good. You've got yourself in such a great situation there, Edwin. I think you're the perfect man for the role that you play within One Planet.
Yeah. I love it.
we've well, we were saying before this call, Rebel, not that long ago, One Planet wasn't actually on his radar, and so it's like when he first heard about it, and I was sort of the same. I was like, "What's this One Planet thing? Is this?" But they're the dark horse of the division. This is what I. This is
legit.
Yeah, they're
legit, man.
Yeah, we're
too legit to quit. Tell you what, Edwin, next time you go to Tesla, by the way, you'll be going there to get your Tesla. That's what's happening.
I might have to with gas prices being so high. I feel like
we've been forced to.
Yeah, we've been forced to get an electric vehicle because it's expensive.
That's interesting. So that's happening to you guys as well. It's crazy in the UK.
Oh, it's everywhere.
Now. Crazy.
Yeah. It's doubled for me in the last 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah. My car, well, funnily enough, my car actually broke down a couple of nights ago and it has been towed to a mechanic. So I don't have to drive. So there's a bonus. No driving, no fuel. Huh?
You ain't got a ute.
You think I've got a ute? I've got a motorbike.
Ute, mate.
Put it in the ute, mate.
Wait, what's the ute?
With the sheepdog. A ute. It's like a pickup truck.
Oh, okay.
But they're not as big.
Crazy Aussie lingo.
Well, yeah, there was a word I said last night. Plug in the chat. I was like, yeah, let's plug it, guys. And then I was like, they might not know what that means. Plug it, promote it. What's been happening? We've got 25 minutes in this call. We've got a few things we were talking about before. Exciting things that have been happening this week in the land of Luna. Maybe we'll make our way through them and we'll kind of just hit them hard, hit them fast, get in, get out, get it done. ThorSwap. Big news happening over there. Obviously, we're talking about the Terra integration with ThorChain, the ability to now buy assets or swap assets rather between UST and Luna to other native L1s like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, and of course Rune itself. And Rune is getting a lot of hype at the moment. Have you guys had a chance to go over there and put some UST to work or do anything on ThorSwap?
I've seen Danku tweeting about it, but I've not done it myself. Is this something we can do on XDeFi?
Yes. So you'll need an XDeFi wallet to do it. It is, look, to be fair, it's a little bit fiddly and it's not super intuitive. Like the functionality is really good. What it's capable of is really good. And I think it's going to get better over time. First impressions though, because I've been using it the last couple of days, this is ThorSwap and XDeFi. It is a little bit fiddly and finicky, there are a couple of things that you have to do. So actually, here's a tip for anyone who's watching. If you are wanting to go onto ThorSwap and make some changes, some swaps, as far as I can tell, the way that it has to be done, or the way it's making me do it on my computer at least, is when I connect my wallet, I have to connect through TerraStation wallet. So it'll say connect a wallet. I'll click TerraStation, and then it comes up with a follow-up message, which will say, it'll say connect with TerraStation, and then the second pop-up is connect with wallet, and it'll give me the option. And because I've got a Leap wallet, I've got a TerraStation, and I've got an XDeFi, it'll give me the option between the three. I've got to click the XDeFi. Once I click the XDeFi, then it reads the funds that I have in that wallet, and allows me to make the purchases. So I've been, I was buying up Rune a few weeks back. I've bought a bit more over the last couple of days, and so it just, it opens up the doors. Just takes a little bit of there's a little learning curve there.
So you're buying Rune with native UST from
That is correct, sir. Yep.
So that's a cross-chain swap on XDeFi.
Yeah, well, it's using.
Are you doing it within the wallet, or are you doing?
I'm not doing it within the wallet. I'm doing it on ThorSwap, but I'm accessing it via my XDeFi wallet. I think the plan is, and maybe it already exists, and I'm just being, a reject and not getting it done properly. But I think the plan is that you're able to eventually do all these swaps within the wallet itself.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's on the horizon. But at the moment, from my experience, it's via ThorSwap, and I'm open to people showing me a better way to do it, because the simpler it is, the better my life is.
100%. I've been playing around with it a little bit, but I don't think I've set up ThorChain on XDeFi. I did a few different chains, so I'll be fiddling with that tomorrow for sure.
So my perspective here is, if you've been buying since the beginning of March, you have doubled your money, because it was at $4 March 1st, and then it's at 10.5 now.
That is correct, sir. That is
So
correct. I've had different buy prices though. I've bought it around $3. I bought it around 6, and I bought it around 8, and also 10 yesterday. So yeah, there's been some gains there. I think there's a lot more gains to be had, but it's that's a rabbit hole, man. Like just trying to wrap your head around like Luna. I feel like now that I'm in that space with all the ThorChain stuff, all the Terra stuff seems much more easy to comprehend. It's all exciting. Regardless, there's an amazing synergy. The ThorChads and the Lunatics are uniting, and by my estimations, I think we're going to see both Luna price and Rune price go up in the not so distant future as more funds flow from Lunatics wallets into that ecosystem. For sure.
Just so I've got this like in my head straight, you can go over to ThorChain or ThorSwap, buy Rune with native UST, Terra native UST, and then once I've got the Rune, I could then on ThorSwap buy native BTC.
You could do that with your UST as well. You don't even need to go and purchase the Rune first, because that's what's essentially happening on the back end. So with ThorSwap, the transactions are made possible because Rune acts almost as a conduit, because there's more, and again, it's very technical, but the way I understand it is there's ample amounts of Rune available within the pools. There has to be like a 2-to-1 ratio for the node bonding, and 1-to-1 for the pools, meaning that, to facilitate the transactions, there's basically like a purchasing of, or a swap to Rune and then a swap to native BTC. And then if you're switching from BTC to ETH, it's a swap from BTC to Rune to ETH type of thing.
So kind of sorry.
You go. I was just going to say, and it benefits from the security of each chain as well.
Sweet. So it's kind of like Prism in the sense that all swaps go through Prism, all swaps go through Rune.
Yes. Yep. To the best of, and again, I'm putting my hands up here. This is new. I'm experimenting with it. I've listened to a lot of spaces recently with Chad Thoreau and Chad Barrowford, and I'm trying to make sense of it. But to the best of my understanding, that's what it seems to be.
And the reason then that we need something like, or the reason why something like XDeFi is a good solution for this is that XDeFi can then hold like native Bitcoin. Whereas if you were doing this with a Terra Station wallet, you would need something else to
wrap it.
That is correct.
Bitcoin to go to. Wow.
Yeah, it's a game changer. Wow. So they're doing good things. I think once they sort out the UX a little more, just so it's a little more intuitive, and I know that's happening with the V2 upgrade of ThorSwap itself. So they're going to make a simpler interface that looks a bit more, works a bit more like, with your sushi swaps, your uni swaps, so on and so forth. But I think it's going to become more intuitive. Just it's early days. We're a few days into this integration. So
one thing I like, just thinking of like the XDeFi wallet, like it reminds me, Osmosis, how it's got those like cool graphics. Like the wallet itself is like, it looks quite kind of funky.
Like the wallet looks, Osmosis is awesome. Yes. Well, actually, speaking of wallets, we had a chat with Leap Wallet just a couple of days ago, and you jumped on that briefly too, didn't you, Red? But they, I was actually quite impressed. I think for anyone that's not using Leap Wallet, worth having a look at. My conclusion by the end of that call is that they are fantastic for onboarding new people. If you're not familiar with it, they have direct access to deposit into Anchor, so you're to get the Anchor earn interest. There's on-ramps with, at the moment, Transact and Cardo, and also direct delegating to the Stata Plus, which we happen to be part of. And I think, Edwin, you might even have some details on that, yeah?
Well, we just kind of took a look at what the different validators are there, right, in Stake Plus. And I mean, we're definitely grateful to be part of that group. Everybody in there is doing something positive for the ecosystem, and that's why they got chosen to be there, right? But I like a graphic that we looked at was just paying attention to like the APR, the commission, different things like that, voting power, right? And what I liked, obviously, from Orbital Command was just, that our infrastructure seems to be doing its job. And so we have a high APR. And then as far as commission percentages go, we're at 4%, which is on the lower end as well. So just, paying attention to those things, at least on my end, it just shows me where we are as a community validator, right? And the things that we want to provide the best infrastructure, lowest commissions as we can, and that way everybody that's delegating to us can benefit from that.
Yeah. So anyone who's wants to use Elite Wallet, you have that option directly through the wallet itself. Otherwise, of course, you can go to Stater as well and do it there. But Rebel, we were talking as well before this call about the GPs, the staking of the GPs. Just checking in, has everyone here staked a GP? I have.
If I had one, I would definitely do that.
What are you doing, bro? Chuck them in the freezer.
I know it's not. I'm not up there yet with the. I could have one if I didn't spend my Luna on all of these other NFTs. If I consolidated all of my Luna spent, I could probably have a punk.
I suppose you've got to be across all these different ones considering where you work. But it was funny actually. Edwin and I were on a call with Shah earlier on, and we were just looking at the punks and we were talking about punk staking and stuff. And then I thought that guy, the punk, looked like Shah. So I just went, that one looks like you. And he went, is it? Oh yeah, I better just buy it.
Yeah, he just picked that up.
Bought another one and went, I'll just chuck it in the freezer now. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, I think putting them in the freezer, not necessarily for the financial gain, but just for like the culture, supporting GPs. I mean, the more punks that are staked, the more exciting the project kind of looks. I mean, the New Look website is epic. Really love the sort of like the old school graphical format. And there's a bit at the top of the website that's like a floating planet. Have you seen that? And there's like the piggy bank with the lunas dropping in, and there's like a pyramid type building that's sort of to represent Prism. And it's just, I think it's like the graphics of giving props to all the things that the punks are involved with. And one of the mods was talking about that this graphic should be clickable to take you to different parts of the site. And I don't know, I just think it's a really nice multimedia experience on the punk website.
I was going to say, Edwin, can you bring that up on the screen by any chance? I'd love to just see exactly what Rebel's talking about here. Sure. And while that's being brought up on the screen, so what are the benefits, just for anyone who's listening who may not be aware of what we're even talking about here, what are the benefits that you are aware of, Rebel, of staking your Galactic Punk?
Well, there's a 21-day wait period before anything really happens. So you're sort of going into cryogenic sleep for 21 days. And then after those 21 days, you'll start receiving staking rewards, and staking rewards are going to be in the form of like seed round investments that Galactic Punks or the Galactic DAO has been involved with. So at the moment, and if Edwin scrolls down a little bit, the two tokens that we'll be receiving are Luart and Messier tokens for staking our punks.
Oh, that's cool.
But I just love the text, the font. Just it reminds me of like old computer games.
This is cool. A round table.
Yeah, this looks awesome.
I think it's funny. Look at that. See the size of Manos. He's like a massive punk.
Who's Manos?
It's like go for one of the community ambassadors.
Oh,
like you know, see the big one.
Oh yeah, the big orange one, the biggest one.
That's funny.
So I heard something the other day, and I don't know if you're across this, but you probably are though. The skeleton punks are going to have something similar soon, and I believe they are going to be able to earn UST. So stakers of skeleton punks. I could be sharing misinformation right now, so better get someone to fact check me. But from what I've heard, I think skeleton punks are going to have something similar, and you'll be able to earn UST, which would be amazing if I had a skeleton punk.
So whoa, I've not heard that. Where's that come from? I'll need to check the Discord for sure.
Inside sources, my friend. I have a
Skelly punks.
I have a buddy in my own little personal DAO, my own little group of friends on this in real life. So it's not that decentralized, to be honest, but it's a semi-decentralized DAO. It's a SDAO, but yeah, he's been all up in the Discord for ages, and he was telling me get a Skelly punk.
Not a Galactic Punk, not a Galactic punk skeleton, a Skelly punk, right?
Yeah, skeleton punks. Which I had a whitelist spot for, and then just messed up my dates and missed the mint, so I never even ended up getting one. But I'm looking. I think the floor is pretty low. I think the floor is still like around 2 Luna or something. I'd have to have a look. I haven't looked at it in like a week or something, but could be worth it. Could just food for thought for people who are in the NFT space. If you want to make some, this is where we're heading. It's all about making these NFTs yield bearing assets. That's the incentive. Like other than having a sick JPEG.
Just to make sure this is not financial advice.
Yeah. But I mean, it is, yes, a total community. I mean, especially when like the rich and famous start buying Galactic Punks, you then they're in your network. You essentially have access to anyone who buys into it. So kind of cool. I mean, that's what it is with Bored Ape Yacht Club, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at the stats the other day for Bored Ape Yacht Club. I was just looking at the recent trades. So obviously we all know Bored Ape Yacht Club is huge, but what I was surprised to see is that in the last 7 days, this is outside of Terra, but LooksRare, if you're familiar with LooksRare, has overtaken, seems to be doing more trading, not volume, but like total sales, as in the total number, the number of the sales seems to be more on LooksRare than OpenSea, which I was like, oh wow, that's interesting. That's been really quick considering they only came out, or they only started gaining sort of prominence a few months ago. So I'll be curious to see,
Good name.
LooksRare, it's an awesome name. So I'll be curious to see how that all unfolds. And mate, it's going to be a long journey over the next few years to figure out which NFTs are going to rise to the top and be the cream of the crop. I think Edwin is the man that would probably have the alpha on everything Terra related. What are you looking at as far as NFTs that might be being currently discounted, Edwin?
That's a good question. So I think first to back up a little bit with your conversation about OpenSea versus LooksRare, I think something to consider is that NFT marketplaces are also battling for liquidity, right? And we're seeing that in Terra, that Random Earth was the first mover, so everything is on there. But Nowhere Art has been focusing on building different features and actually, listening to feedback. We have Messier, we have Mint DAO, we have Talus, we have Blue Art, we have One Planet, right? And everybody right now is fighting for that liquidity. We want, each platform wants people to list on theirs, right? And so there's competition at that level. And so the marketplaces have to figure out, how can we provide value to the user, right? Is that statistics? Is that a coin, right? What is it that customers want that is going to create more engagement, to spend more time in the platform, to buy and sell in the platform, right? Because Random Earth, again, what's the value of it? It's really just that it was the first mover and a lot of the NFT projects are there. But other than that, you don't really get much, not even any new features, or at least from what I remember. I haven't really seen anything updated from them. But anyway, so that's the first point. But then to dive deeper into which projects to look at, I think back to your point, yield bearing is obviously something that people are looking into, right? Because the art is important, but we've seen that there are some projects that have really cool art, but they haven't sold out, right? And so I think it's the art is huge, but you can't, for me, it's 3 different things. It's the art, it's the marketing, right? In regard to like, how much exposure can you get, not just from Terra, but outside of Terra? And are you also involved with DeFi, right? Like there's the marketing of your project, your vision, your roadmap. And then the third thing is your community, right? Within the Discord, how are your conversations going with the people that are actually supporting your project? Is it very focused on your project, or are there conversations about Luna or about UST or about other NFT projects, right? And alpha being spread within there. Are you creating events for your community? Are you know what I mean? Like, so those are the 3 different things for me. Is your art cool? Is it something innovative? Is it something different? Something that people can find an attachment to? The marketing, right? And then the community. And so if you have those 3 going on, you're going to be very successful. But if you have 2 and you're missing 1, you're still going to struggle. And so it's hard to find that balance, right? And it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of effort and time and energy. So 1 person, the team can't do it. 2 people, it's really hard. 3 people, maybe you got a good thing going on. But in Ethereum, at least from what I've seen, a lot of the successful projects have like 5, 6, 7 members, and they're doxed and they're in there. It's like their full-time job, and essentially that's what these NFT projects are. They are a startup, and so when you as an investor go in and buy one, you're investing in the team, right? You're saying, hey, I believe in your project and the vision and the roadmap and your marketing and community, so I'm going to put my money, hoping that you actually live up to the expectations that you set for your minters, your holders, right? So I think it's a lot, man. It's heavy. I mean, to look at one specific project right now, I mean, I think Department 77 has been my favorite one so far. I think that they have a really good utility for their bounty hunters, and they have a really good marketing plan. They're having like a company retreat, which is the name of their weekly like AMA, where you can come up and ask questions, right? And it's a really cool setup that the creator has, and he's building out the team. So, anyways, I've seen a really good execution from them, and it seems like it's fun. And the game should be released in April. And the idea with the game is basically kind of like DeFi Kingdoms, where you send your bounty hunter on different missions, and they're gonna fight it out with different bounty hunters, and they'll come back. If they win, they'll bring you back some money. If they don't win, they'll bring you back some XP, right? So either way, you're benefiting from sending them out on missions. But if they win, and then there's gonna be equipables where you can change the cosmetics, you can make them look different. And then there's the performance upgrades where you can actually make them better, right? So that's the one project that I really think that they have a lot of potential right now.
Which marketplace?
Oh, the best one,
One Planet, baby.
One Planet, let's go.
So you go, Reb.
Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, no, I mean this whole idea of like upgradable NFTs sounds like next level.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. I mean, I was looking at some of these department. It's interesting that the Department 77 NFTs aren't called Department 77. What is it they're called again?
So the reason why is because right now on March 15th, they released their first collection of bounty hunters. So it's called the Deuce MK1. But they're going to have 6 collections in total. So each bounty hunter collection is going to have a different look and different feel for it, because these bounty hunters are androids. That's why you can upgrade their performance and upgrade the cosmetics to it.
Okay.
So there's going to be, each wave of bounty hunters is going to have a different supply, a different price, a different look, different things to it.
That's epic. I mean, that sounds like replicant bounty hunters rather than bounty hunters chasing replicants. So yeah, I mean, I was having a look at them before. Did they sell out?
They did. Yeah, so supply was 333, price was 2 Luna, and they sold out in about 4 days, I think, 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the floor now?
What's that?
Sorry.
Floor?
The floor now is 2 still, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I'm walking around. I'll grab myself one of these.
I better get fast. I didn't buy that one this morning, so I need to get in there before Doctor beats me to it. So, I mean, I suppose a mint of 330 is, if you've got your marketing right and the art's nice, you would expect that to sell out. But thinking about another project that we were both quite impressed with, well, I mean, I was certainly impressed with, Anarchists.
Mm-hmm.
They've done about 1,500, which that's cool, 1,500 NFTs. But I think their sort of cap was 2,500.
Yeah.
So why do you think that might be? Is it just they were trying to sell too many, maybe?
Well, it's an interesting case study, right? Because, and I love doing this, man. I love paying attention to those things, because they actually adjusted their supply and price. Maybe I'm not sure of the price, but they lowered their supply by like 1,000 or more, right?
I think it was going to be 4,440 was the initial.
Right. And they brought it to 2,500. And then the price, did that change as well? Did it go up a little bit since they lowered the supply?
I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure.
Okay. But usually that's what happens, right? As you get closer to mint date, you tighten up the lever and you bring the supply down and you bring the price up a little bit, or you keep the price the same. And imagine if they didn't do that and they would have still had 4,444, right? then it would the vision or the impression would have been even worse, right? Because they didn't sell out up to that point. So anyway, so that's one thing to consider, right? That they did try to adjust. They're listening to the community, looking at the market sentiment, and they figured, okay, let's lower the supply a little bit. But I think that goes to show that what category of NFT project you are in is important as well, right? So again, with the example that I gave about the Parma 77, the category is a gaming NFT project. As soon as you mint it, there's going to be utility for it. You can use it, right? And there's going to be a token, the Kilo token, that you can, again, Rebel, I think that's why if you dive deeper into it, I think you like it because of the DeFi component to it. And so I think if we go back to Anarchist, honestly, I felt like they did such a great job marketing, such a great job with their community. The different factions, I think they call it, in their community, and having different missions for them, and the team. I feel like they have good experience coming from Solana, and so I was shocked, honestly, that they did not sell out. So I don't know, man. I think the category is important, right? Just kind of seeing, what the utility is going to be for their team, and I think they're doing more of like a mutual kind of fund in a way, where they can use the profits of the sale and be able to do some, I think, investments in that. So I don't know exactly what that means. I know we're running out of time here, but yeah, Rebel, I don't know, Doctor.
Well, I mean, there was talk of them doing a comic book, which I think would be a brilliant idea, because like the lore surrounding these anarchists, for me, I think it's a pretty cool project. So yeah, if they had some nice artists with some good storytellers, I think that could be something worth. I mean, basically, so I bought an NFT. Well, I bought a few of them, but that's essentially my right to get hold of a comic book. I mean, if I get comic books for a year, to me, that's worth it.
So that's the hard part, right? Because, okay, let's say they do the comic, like that takes time, it takes energy. So when is that going to come out, right? And so again, as a holder, as soon as you get an NFT, like you're not getting rewarded right away. And I think that's what people are looking for now, right? Like, how am I going to get rewarded as a holder? Right? I'd rather spend this money in Prism or in another NFT project, or try to look for a pump and dump or whatever. But I just think those are some things to consider. Like, that's great. I think that if they do the comic book and it actually happens, that's going to be amazing, right? But when is that going to happen? 6 months from now, a year from now? We don't know. Yeah. Anyways, just a thought.
Well, I mean, a lot of the gaming ones are like that as well. I mean, Deviants.
Yes.
Where's the game? Derby Stars. Where's the game? I mean, Department 77 is that game. If I buy a NFT tonight, can I play a game?
Not yet.
So, I mean, like...
Exactly. No, good. That's a great point. Yeah, it's good to consider those things, right? That's the whole thing here. Just the roadmap. What do they have in mind? And then again, the comic book, let's say you could get it right now, like, okay, you own it, but then what else? Is there going to be a market for the comic book where you can buy and sell that too? Right? Or is it just...
even just to read it. I mean, like, if an NFT costs you $120, and for argument's sake, imagine, I mean, it won't be this, but imagine you got a comic book a month. So that's like essentially you're paying $10 for a comic book per month. That's reasonable. Well, more than reasonable, I'd say.
And we haven't seen that yet in Terra. Like Women versus Apes, I think, was promising that, and they still haven't produced a comic book. I think they've released some sneak peeks, but anyway, so that would be good.
They just need to get some lads in there.
Yeah.
Crack that whip a little bit. Yeah, I wonder, as you were talking there about why some of them didn't complete their full mints, I also think a lot of that comes down to things outside of the space. It's like you're looking at the timing of the market. So it's like, if people are, I think there are two considerations. One, if the price of Luna is going to tank, so people are looking at it going, oh, Luna's going to drop by X amount. So they're like, well, I want to keep as much of my Luna as possible. I don't want to be like spending it. And by the same rationale, if the price goes the other way, it's like, well, we're about to run, so I want to keep my tokens. And I think that when we saw a lot of the success in the NFT projects of last year, it was as like people have already made astronomical gains with their investment. So then they're just like, oh, I'm rich, baby, like cash a splash. Let's start buying up some NFTs. And that, they were just lucky. I think from a timing perspective. It doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily mean if they don't complete their mint, I don't think it means that they're a lesser project or that their roadmaps aren't good enough. I just think it's an attention thing. I think it comes down to where's people's attention. Is it looking at self-preservation, or is it looking at investment maximalization of like how maximalization? How can I make the most of my investments, and am I going to be better just parking my money in something like Luna versus in an NFT, which is, I think for the most part, far more speculative than Luna. There's at least something mathematical about Luna. So I think that's just a consideration when it comes to buying NFTs. I know I've certainly been much more trigger happy when it comes to buying. I spent way too much on NFTs last year in the middle of the bull run, because it's like, I've got cash to splash. Let's do this. But now I'm a bit more, I notice personally, I look at NFTs and I do little, even a Hellcat. I bought a Hellcat last week, I think. And I was like, do I need to spend this, 30 Luna or whatever it was? I was like, I could. I bought it like a sucker. Not like a sucker, like a legend, actually, like a Luna lad does, because that's what a lad does. So I have a Hellcat. Anyway, everyone, now you know I have a Hellcat.
Is that personal Hellcat, or is that the?
Yeah, it's one of mine. Yeah, we got one for our DAO as well, for my little not so decentralized autonomous organization.
Nice. I mean, that's it. One thing, just going back to anarchists for a moment, like their price was 120 UST, and I think I quite like NFTs being priced in UST.
Yeah.
Precisely for all the stuff you mentioned, Doctor.
Yes. Yeah, there's that feeling of like, oh, cool. There's not an opportunity cost there. You don't look at it and go, oh, well, what if this 10Xs? Then I could have been holding this asset. It's just like, cool. But on the flip side, there is a psychological thing that happens when you go, okay, this NFT is 1,000 UST, or it's only, 5 Luna. And then you go, it's only 5. So it can work both ways. It just depends on the individual. But I love hearing you talk, Edwin, when you get into your space, when you get on the NFT train. It's really informative. And I'll certainly be looking at One Planet and the Department 77 stuff a lot more now too. So thank you for that.
Yeah, man. It's time to go to Department 77 right now. I want to beat Doctor to the punch. I reckon it's time to call it, guys.
There's enough to go around. Yeah, absolutely. Guys, it's been an absolutely phenomenal chat. Anyone who's listening, if you've enjoyed it, drop some comments below. Say hi to the guys at Terra Money TV. Jump into the video section. There's heaps of projects that are uploading videos at the moment. We got guys like Caleb TWT. He's now uploading videos within Terra Money TV. There's so much content there. You're going to struggle to get through it all. But click through, have a look at what's being made, because there are people in this space who are making content for for everyone to view and enjoy. So jump in, do that. Orbital Command,
and listen,
we're all from there. Come and say hi to 100%.
us. Come say hi to us at TDX.
Yeah.
Austin, Texas.
Oh yeah, we'll have to talk.
We will be there.
Yeah. Next call, we'll probably touch on that a bit more, because there's lots of updates happening in the background with that too, which are really exciting. And we've got some alpha coming out that we want to let you guys know about probably next weekend, I reckon. So let's do the TDX talk then.
Yeah. Sweet. And join us on our Discord as well, Terra Invest Strategy. Come and talk to us there.
Yes, indeed.
Got to say more enthusiastic, man. It is like the best Discord at the moment. Terra Invest Strategy. We've got Luna Onyx in there as well. Awesome spot for learning.
Yeah, it is. It's actually picking up a lot of steam. I think we've got a few thousand sitting in there at the moment. We're going to be doing some more workshops, actually. So I believe Joseph, who's part of the Orbital Command team, and Thomas, who's one of the developers at Orbital Command, they're going to be co-running a GitHub tutorial for noobs. And also we're looking at doing some blockchain explorer tutorials for people that may not be well... what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out here, guys.
Versed.
Yeah, they're not well versed in how blockchain explorers work. And then what we're going to do is probably look at getting some protocols themselves coming in and doing some walkthroughs of their protocols. So we are building the Discord out. Definitely jump over there and start getting some conversations going. And if you've got suggestions, we're always open to them. We want to make sure that we are of service to you guys. But as far as Luna Lads goes, what do you reckon, boys? Wrap it up there?
I'm going to jump on that NFT train for sure.
Go get him out, or I'll snipe you. All right,
guys.
lads.
See ya.